Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for coming out on what is a really special night for so many in the room, but also for our community. And so with that, I call our meeting to order with a statement of proper notice. Notice of this meeting has been posted on the municipal bulletin board and forwarded to the Hopewell Valley News, the Trentonian, Mercer Me, and the Hopewell Express on January 6, 2026, in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975. Roll call, please.
Committee Member Kaczynski.
Here.
Committee Member Peters Manning.
Here.
Committee Member Ruger.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Pirandare.
Here.
Mayor Chade.
Here. And if you're able to, please rise.
Detail, attention. Forward, march. Left, face. Ready, go. Present arms. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms. Right, face. Forward, march.
Thank you. Well, as we said, again, thank you everybody for being here tonight. One of the most special things that happens at some of these township meetings is exactly this. Our police and all of our first responders are such a critical part of our community, and really, again, help elevate everything that makes our township special. And so to see that community and to see that growth and to see so many of you joining is so incredibly special. And so we are beyond excited for this opportunity today. And so with that, before I hand it off to the chief, I do want to give our police liaison, committee member Peters Manning, if there's anything you'd like to add.
Thank you. I'll be very brief. I just wanted to welcome Nick, Eric, Milo, Carla, and Sarah to the Hopewell Township Police Department, and every single one of you that's been hired since I've been here and even before. It's an honor to have you as a member of our community. I say it all the time, this is the best police department in the state of New Jersey, and I may be biased, but I'm also right. So welcome, and thank you for all of you do every day.
Great. And so with that, chief, if you'd like to take it away.
Mayor, committee members, thank you again for this opportunity to present these new recruit officers here that we're going to hire, and they're going to join our team, so we're thankful for that, for the support. Family, friends, and relatives, thank you for coming out and supporting these great 6 young men and ladies. If they haven't told you before, we started with 140 candidates in this process, got all the way down to these 6. They really rose above and beyond all the rest that were in the process, and we're excited to have them join our team. As you can see, there's a few of us in the back from our team. So, great group. We're looking forward to them starting their careers here, and thank you again for supporting them and being here with them tonight. I'd be amiss if I didn't mention a few people that I see in the audience. I see Al Flanders from Princeton University. Thank you, Al. Past retired Sergeant Daniel McEwen, Brian McEwen, some people know him as. Our prosecutor, or our chief of detectives. You back there, Tracy? Tracy McEwen. We have Sergeant, retired, still working, Sergeant Jack Venatone. And if I missed anybody, I apologize. I did this before in the past. I bring you up one-on-one and talk about you and make you stand here and be a little uncomfortable. I'm going to bring all 6 of you up, and I'm just going to give a little brief bio about you. So why don't you guys and the girls stand up here? So I'm going to introduce the 6 new recruit officers that we're going to have starting the academy in February. Let's start with Nicholas Wright. You want to raise your hand, Nick, so I know who you are? So Nicholas was born and raised in Hamilton, New Jersey. He currently resides in Columbus, New Jersey. He attended Steinert High School in Hamilton, where he was a captain for the football team, and recently earned his bachelor's degree at Rowan University in General Studies. Nick is currently in the United States Army National Guard as an infantryman and had a recent deployment in Syria in 2024, so thank you for your service too there, Tina. Milo de los Santos. Milo is a local. He grew up here in Hopewell Township. He attended all the Hopewell Valley Central High School and earned his bachelor's degree in psychology from Stockton University. At Stockton University, he was also a member of the Division III basketball team. Milo was recently worked as a paraprofessional at the Hopewell Valley Central High School, working with students with developmental and learning difficulties. Nicholas Venetone. Nick grew up in Lambertville, so I'm a little biased because that's where I grew up too as well. He's a graduate of South Hunter Regional High School, which I'm proud alma mater. He earned his bachelor's degree in criminology and a certificate in intelligence studies from the Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C. Like I said before, Nick comes from a proud family, a tradition of law enforcement. His father, retired sergeant from Brereton Township, and his grandfather served as the chief of police in Lambertville. Carla Jenkins. Carla grew up in Milford, New Jersey. She attended Delaval Regional High School. She earned her bachelor's degree from Temple University, where she majored in psychology and minored in criminal justice. Carla also completed an internship with the New Jersey State Police and is currently taking courses to become fluent in Spanish. Frederick Reininger. Frederick, or Eric, we're going to go by Eric.
Yes, sir.
Eric was born in Brick, New Jersey, and grew up in Crofton, Maryland. He graduated from DeMatha Catholic High School in Maryland, where he served as a captain of the school's ice hockey team. Eric attended the University of Alabama, where he earned a bachelor's degree in criminology and criminal justice with a minor in cyber criminology, and served as the captain of the Alabama hockey team. He's formerly employed by the Princeton University Department of Public Safety. Sarah. Sarah Sharp. Sarah grew up in Jackson, New Jersey, and is a graduate of Jackson Memorial High School. She earned her bachelor's degree in criminal justice and sociology from Rider University in 2020, and went on to complete her master's degree in Homeland Security from Rider in 2023. Sarah began her law enforcement career as a special law enforcement officer, Class 1, with the Manasquan Police Department, and most recently was working as a 911 dispatcher for the Ocean Township Police Department in Monmouth County. So these are our 6 recruit officers that will be sent through the academy, so a round of applause. So now you can have a seat, and I'll call you up individually and we'll swear you in. We're going to start with Nick Venetone. Holding the Bible will be his father, Jack, and his mother, Heather, and brother, Anthony. Go ahead, stand up there, Anthony.
I state your name.
I, Nick Venetone,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all of the duties
all the duties
of the office of patrol officer
of the office of patrol officer
in the Hopewell Township Police Department,
in the Hopewell Township Police Department,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Next up is Carla Jenkins, and her mother, Liz Johnson, will be holding a Bible. Also, her father, David Jenkins, is here.
I state your name,
I, Carla Jenkins,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
and under the authority of the people,
and under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of
all the duties of the office of
Patrol Officer in the Hopewell Township Police Department.
patrol officer in
Hopewell
In the Hopewell Township
Police Department, according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Nicholas Wright. And holding the Bible will be his father, David.
I state your name,
I, Nicholas Wright,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same,
to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all of the duties
perform all the duties
in the office of
in the office of
Patrol Officer
patrol officer
in the Hopewell Township Police Department,
in the Hopewell Township Police Department,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Milo de los Santos. And holding the Bible will be his fiancee, Riley Finnegan, and also his mother, Michelle, and brother, Max.
I state your name,
I, Milo de los Santos,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same,
to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all of the duties of the office of
all the duties of the office of
Patrol Officer
patrol officer
in the Hopewell Township Police Department,
in the Hopewell Township Police Department,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Sarah Sharp. And holding the Bible will be her sister, Grace. Also her Aunt Lori and Uncle David. You guys want to come up too?
I state your name.
I, Sarah Sharp,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same,
to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all of the duties
perform all of the duties
of the office of
of the office of
Patrol Officer
patrol officer
in the Hopewell Township Police
in
Department,
the Hopewell Township Police Department,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Eric Reininger. Holding the Bible will be his mother, Christy, his father, Fred, and his brothers, Nick and Chris.
I state your name.
I, Eric Reiniger,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of the office of
perform all the duties of the office of
patrol officer
patrol officer
in the Hopewell Township Police Department,
in the Hopewell Township Police Department,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to the 6 of you. We're looking forward to having you join our team. The next step is you'll be here for a couple weeks before you have to go to the academy, and you'll have the 21 weeks at the academy. Could you take a quick photo? Quick photo? And please don't leave right away. We'll take a few photos next door in the courtroom, and they have some paperwork that they have to sign already. It starts. So please don't run out right away. We'll get a couple pictures with you and your family, and then we'll grab a couple pictures with the officers. So again, thank you all for coming out. Thank you for the support for these 6 young men and women. But like I said, we're looking forward. They fit the culture that we have here in Hopewell Township, so we're thankful for your support, and they'll be supported here too as well. So thank you again. Congrats.
Thank you again, and this now becomes double super official when we pass the resolutions this. So, A resolution appointing Nicholas Venetone as a patrol officer in the police department. B, a resolution appointing Carla Jenkins as a patrol officer in police department. C, a resolution appointing Milo De Los Santos as a patrol officer in police department. D, a resolution appointing Nicholas Wright as a patrol officer in police department. E, a resolution appointing Sarah Sharp as a patrol officer in police department. And F, a resolution appointing Frederick Eric Reininger as a patrol officer in police department. Can I have a motion?
It is my honor to move to approve these resolutions.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And no opposed, no abstentions. Congratulations.
Another photo, so hop on up.
Okay, we're taking one of those too. Chief. Can we all get in or do you might have any? I think you can. Chief, come. Chief, we need you.
If everyone's here for the hire and wants to come over this way, feel free. If not, the regular scheduled committee meeting will start.
You are welcome to stay, but you are not offending us to go enjoy the celebration.
So I think it's item G. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right, well, thank you. And on the important topic that we were just discussing about our incredible police department and the incredible partnership that we have with them and with our entire community, I'm going to actually move up Resolution G right now, especially because we do have the chief with us. And so that is, I'm going to ask to move it as amended there are some new bill titles associated with this resolution, but this is G, resolution supporting the passage of the New Jersey Immigrant Trust Act, Bills S5036, S5038, A6309, and reaffirming Hopewell Township as a fair and welcoming community. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Great. And I just want to, before passing along, so I know several of our committee members have a few thoughts to share, as well as our chief. I just want to note that, one of the things that makes me so proud of our police department and of our township as a whole is our long commitment to being a welcoming community, and one that works in tandem with our public safety officials in building that community. And so what this resolution does, in addition to support for some bills that are out there that I believe 2 out of 3 actually passed today, this is happening in real time there, is reaffirming that commitment to Hopewell Township as a welcoming community, which I know is something Committee Member Kaczynski is going to speak about, but also that wonderful partnership that we have. And I think in moments like this, that reaffirmation and those words matter. And so I'm so proud to be a part of this community. And with that, for a little historical context, Committee Member Kaczynski.
Certainly. Thank you, Mayor. I asked to speak tonight on this issue. This is something that is deeply personal for me. So America is and has always been a country of immigrants. The famous quote inscribed on the Statue of Liberty states, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest toast to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door." These words welcome immigrants, symbolizing America not just as a refuge or haven for the oppressed, but also as an emblem of hope and opportunity. Just over 100 years ago, my grandfather emigrated from Poland to America, arriving at 6 years old at Ellis Island. Many of the records of his arrival were destroyed in a subsequent fire, but memory burns bright within our family. As a young boy, his family was fleeing persecution and other repercussions from Tsarist Russia. He then started in a coal mine as a young teenager, 12 years old, working to keep food on the table and to support his family. My grandfather and grandmother sacrificed everything on behalf of their family, fighting to secure a better life for the next generation. Unfortunately, my grandfather died relatively young, so I never met him. He was a victim of black lung disease before better worker protections and mine safety rules were in place. But my father and his older sister both honored my grandparents' sacrifice, one graduating as a nurse and the other as a first-time college graduate. Much like other Americans and many of those who were in the audience tonight, I benefited from this sacrifice and have seen firsthand how immigration makes America stronger. Several years ago, after much work within the community and with our police force, we declared Hopewell Township as a fair and welcoming community for immigrants. This declaration came after months of work, and I want to give credit to both my former colleague, Julie Blake, for leading this effort and for the others who participated. In advance of tonight's vote, I wanted to reaffirm the underlying principles of what a fair and welcoming community is. Number one, we join with Lady Liberty and welcome immigrants and all the hope, hard work, and love that they bring to America. Number two, we will be fair and welcoming to legal immigrants in Hopewell Valley. If you are a victim of a crime or report a crime, we encourage you to come forward, and our police will not check your immigration status. If you were stopped for a traffic violation or other routine offense, we will not investigate your immigration status. The one exception to this is if you commit a crime or otherwise violate the trust of our community, we will hold you accountable. America is a welcoming place, but we're also a community of law. I believe we should reaffirm these values with the resolution before the committee tonight. To be clear, we're not declaring ourselves a sanctuary city. We're declaring it a safe, fair, and welcoming space. Too often, words become polarizing. We need to move beyond that and reaffirm what has made this country great. We need to protect immigrants and shield them as they seek the promise, hope, and opportunity that comes to moving to America. Thank you to Lady Liberty and for that inspiration for our community.
Thank you. Committeemember Ruger, I know you had some words as well.
Yeah, thank you. Before we vote on this resolution, I wanted to make a few points. I want to be clear, I'm not anti-law enforcement, I'm pro-human decency. I would like to share the following from ACLU New Jersey explaining why the Immigrant Trust Act is important. The comprehensive protections afforded by this bill are critical for empowering New Jerseyans to live their lives without fear that routine interactions with state and local government, be it registering for health care, reporting wage theft, or contacting law enforcement, could lead to permanent separation from their loved ones through immigration detention and deportation. As the federal government continues to expand immigration detention and new threats loom over immigrant communities, passing this bill is more urgent than ever. To be a fair and welcoming state, all New Jerseyans must be able to support their families and fully participate in their communities without fear. Passing the Immigrant Trust Act is an important step in making that a reality. That's a statement from ACL New Jersey. Now I'll go on. This resolution was under consideration prior to the tragic events in Minneapolis last Wednesday. We are not taking this action in response to Renee Nicole Good's death, but the events of last week show why our action this evening and why the Immigrant Trust Act is necessary. We've all seen the videos of January 7th, and they're hard to watch. I find it very difficult to understand how an ICE agent could stop a person identifying himself as a physician from helping Ms. Good, who had been shot in the face and in a collision. Instead, 6 minutes passed before EMS personnel arrived. And I find it even more difficult to understand how any ICE agent could refer to a person who had just been shot in the face as a ducking witch. I'm sure you all know what I'm referring to. As we continue to learn more details about the Minneapolis tragedy, I urge you to keep in mind a quote from George Orwell's 1984. Quote, "The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command." Unquote. I plan to support this resolution.
Anyone else from the committee?
Huh? What can I say about this? Me being here, myself a first-generation immigrant and representing the community, this is just really a proud moment for me, and it's just the testament of how welcoming this community is for the immigrants, and having this bill passed, and this just reaffirms what our commitment is to our resident. And thank you for bringing that. Thank you, committee, for supporting it. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, and I'd just like to add that unless you're 100% Native American in the United States of America, we are all immigrants. And unless all immigrants are safe in the United States of America and guaranteed due process of law, then none of us are safe and none of us are guaranteed due process of law. We are already doing what this law requires in New Jersey. This just moves it from being a directive to law that can't be changed by different administrations. I also want to give special recognition to Chief Rosso and the police department for doing this already and doing it really well, as always. So thank you for this opportunity. I will also be supporting this resolution.
And just before turning this over to the chief, I just want to add that, a very similar tale to many, that I myself am also over here because of immigration, where my grandfather too came from Poland, fleeing Europe in the 1940s and 30s. But what makes this resolution before us not just so important, but also so special, and really to echo what Committee Member Peters Manning said, is that following the directive, it is something that not only is our police department already doing, but that level of community involvement, that level of community presence, and that level of trust is already palpable. And so what I find wonderful is that in many other places, supporting a resolution like this would be a break from the common, would be a break from the current, would be a change. What is wonderful is this is just a reaffirmation, and that makes me really proud to live here. And with that,
Thank you again. I appreciate the relationships that we have here and the trust that's been built over the last almost 4 years now at this point. I'm very transparent. I think you all know me. We follow the same pretty much directive of what's on your resolution, our immigration trust directive. We treat everyone fair and impartially, and that's what we do. I'm very proud of the guys and girls, and that's how they handle themselves. One of our pillars, obviously, is empathy, and the other one is fairness, and they're the two that are in our actual code of conduct. So I'm proud of our guys and girls. If anything ever arises from this, I think you'd be the first call that I'll make. But again, we'll keep transparent and we'll keep this a fair and welcoming community here in Hopewell Township. Thank you.
well, thank you, and thank you for all that you do. So with that, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstention? Seeing none, this passes. Thank you. Go enjoy the celebration.
Thank you again. I really appreciate it. Look forward to meeting them again. I'm sure to see them.
All right, continuing along.
Chief, before you go, just wanted, Committee Member Kaczynski and I did the math. Based on the number of applicants, it sounds like you're actually more selective than Princeton University for who you admit, so.
Thank you. I'm proud of that. We are very selective on who we hire,
Yeah.
so thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
So moving along, we have two proclamations tonight. We're going to read the first proclamation, which is honoring the retirement of Heidi Kame, who has served our community for a very long time.
Whereas Heidi Kame has served the residents of Hopewell Township with distinction since October 6, 2006, dedicating nearly 2 decades of her professional life to the health, safety, and well-being of our community. And whereas, as the coordinator of the Hopewell Valley Municipal Alliance, Heidi has been a tireless advocate for our youth, championing the Healthy Communities, Healthy Youth Initiative, and working to build the 40 development assets necessary for children and teens to thrive. And
Whereas Heidi's leadership has been instrumental in the success of vital community programs, including the annual Mayor's Breakfast, Hopewell Valley's Night Off, the Teen Job Fair, and the Caring for Our Kids mental health symposiums. And whereas she has served as a bridge between municipal government, the regional school district, law enforcement, and local families, fostering a united front against substance abuse and promoting social-emotional learning. And
Whereas Heidi's expertise and dedication have been recognized beyond the township borders, notably receiving accolades from the Mercer County on alcohol and drug addiction for her profound impact on the opioid epidemic and prevention education. And
Whereas, throughout her tenure, Heidi has been known not only for her professional competency and grant writing success, but for all creative flair, her salon redux leadership with the Art Council, and her genuine passion for making Hopewell Valley a warmer, more connected place to live.
Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Township Committee of the Township of Hopewell, County of Mercer, State of New Jersey, that the Township officially recognizes and honors Heidi Kame on the occasion of her retirement. We extend our deepest gratitude for her 18-plus years of exemplary service, her unwavering commitment to the youth of Hopewell Valley, and her lasting legacy of health and wellness. We wish her retirement filled with the same joy and fulfillment she has provided to so many in our community. And as we all have had the pleasure, I've had the pleasure of working with Heidi both through the Municipal Alliance as well as her inordinate support for the Youth Advisory Board, and a huge congratulations on this. She is under the weather and unable to be here tonight, but I do have some words from her that she shared just to read into the record. Serving this municipality has been both meaningful and rewarding, and I'm grateful to have worked alongside so many people who care deeply about our children and our community. And so thank you again. Second, we have a proclamation declaring January 2026 as Radon Action Month.
Whereas radon is normally occurring radioactive gas that is the second leading cause of the lung cancer, and whereas prolonged exposure to radon can kill as many as 500 people in New Jersey each year, and
Whereas families who reside in homes with elevated radon levels are at risk of developing serious health problems. And whereas any home can have high levels of radon even when neighboring homes do not. And
Whereas radon testing can be done with great ease at a relatively low expense to the homeowner, with the cost of reducing radon concentrations being comparable to a home repair. And
Whereas the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, the New Jersey Department of Health, and the United States Environmental Protection Agency are collaborating during the month of January to promote the need for radon testing in an effort to protect the lives of our state's residents.
Now, therefore, I, David Chait, Mayor of Hopewell Township, on behalf of the Hopewell Township Committee and residents of Hopewell Township, do hereby proclaim the month of January 2026 as Radon Action Month in the Township of Hopewell and call upon all residents who have not yet tested to test their homes for radon and to reduce radon levels if elevated levels are found to protect their families from the serious health risk of radon. Thank you. 6 additional items for the meeting agenda. We don't have any, so we will move into committee member and staff reports. Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and committee members. I do not have anything to report tonight.
Great. Ms. Burkett.
Good evening. I just wanted to announce that the Community Development Coordinator has started last week. So hopefully everything will move forward and get back into a normal pace for the department. So we're very happy to welcome Ashley Smith to our department.
Wonderful.
Thank
Very
you.
exciting. Mr. Goodell.
Nothing to report.
Mr. Alvin.
Nothing unusual, but just a status update on what we're doing in finance. We are currently working on some year-end reports for 2025, working on the 2026 budget, as we've just had our first official meeting tonight to kick it off. And the auditors are here in the building with me for the week, so it's a busy week in finance.
Ms. Van Newman.
I have nothing to report, Mayor.
Okay, great. We'll start over on my left. Committee Member Ruger.
thank you. 2 meetings coming up. Wednesday night is a Citizens Equity Advisory Committee, which will be meeting by Zoom at 7 p.m. And Thursday night is the Woolsey Park Advisory Committee, which will also be meeting at 7, but in person.
Committee Member Kaczynski.
Nothing significant to report tonight. As Ms. Troutman shared, we are starting the 2026 municipal budget process. We started with an overview this evening of revenues versus year ago, as well as our first departments going through the capital budget. We will continue that process over the ensuing weeks and hope to introduce the capital budget in relatively short order.
Committee Member Peters Manning.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple of things tonight. First, for the police department, in addition to our very exciting hiring that we had tonight, they are also in the process of applying for re-accreditation. Law enforcement accreditation is very difficult to achieve and really an honor that our department has earned. So now that is up for being renewed. The public are invited to comment on the re-accreditation. The ways to do that are on the police department website and also on our social media channels. For deer management, we have had 51 total deer harvested so far this year. 32 are doe, which is really important for controlling the deer population. 18 bucks and 1 button buck, which is an immature male. There's also been donations made to food pantry, or the soup kitchen, excuse me, and our hunters are doing a great job. That's all I have.
Wonderful. And Deputy Mayor Parandare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Nothing to report at this time. Thank you.
Great. And from my side, a couple quick things from Public Works, who as always is hard at work. They've had 5 salting events already this season. And so a big thank you for everything there. Due to that, leaf pickup was delayed in certain areas, but continues on and catching up there is number 1, as is pothole patching, and Christmas tree collection is ongoing, among other great things. Youth Advisory Board actually will meet later this week, and we'll have an amazing speaker in Administrator Snyder, so thank you for coming that. And the Tourism and Economic Development Advisory Committee will be meeting in 2 weeks, but plans are underway for Restaurant Week, which we had talked about last week, and so outreach is there, and the website is live, so stay tuned for more on that. And great, so with that, we will now move to our first public section. As always, if you are in the room, please come up to the podium. You have 3 minutes, and we will take all of the comments first and then answer all the questions at the end. So if anyone would like to come up.
Andrew Borders from Hilton Court in the Township. Good evening. I want to start by acknowledging that the Township did make a partial adjustment in response to my concerns by agreeing to limit the no parking signage on Hilton Court to the single sign I requested. I appreciate that movement. I believe my neighbors will as well, and I understand the sign is still being fabricated. That said, at the final meeting of 2025, the then mayor stated that my questions had been answered. I want to be very clear and respectful in saying they have not. Since then, the Township provided me with 2,531 pages of documents. I read through them. They include combined alternate bids, unrelated alternates, and years of invoices from the Township's engineering firm for projects across the Township. What they do not include is a clear answer to a very basic set of questions. Why were the island and striping added to Hilton Court when no one can clearly explain their purpose, and what did that work cost? I have heard multiple times that the snowplow needed to be able to turn around at the end of Hilton Court. That is not in dispute. What has not been explained are the other elements of the work on Hilton, despite multiple opportunities over several months, and despite repeated reminders that the phrase municipal standards is not a substitute for cost oversight or for asking what a specific street actually needs. Even after reviewing thousands of pages, the answers get no more specific than the combined cost for Hilton, Howe, and Sandpiper together. I saw no document that explains the purpose of the curb island on Hilton, no clear justification for it, and no reasonable breakdown of its costs specific to Hilton Court. For context, my family paid $8,862 in property taxes last year. About 13.5% of that, roughly $1,200, went to the Township for you to steward. Piecing together information from the Township's own bid prices, the curb island alone appears to have cost at least 2 years of my family's total municipal tax contribution, yet no one has been able to clearly explain why it was necessary or what problem it was intended to solve. Providing thousands of pages of documents without answering those basic questions is not transparency. Transparency is clarity, not volume. I'm not here to argue engineering methods, and I am not opposed to improvements. I'm asking for accountability and stewardship of taxpayer funds. I'll note one example. The bid documents called for epoxy parking stripes, yet the subcontractor's records show thermoplastic was used instead, a material that, by the Township's own bid pricing, costs about 3 times more and is not what a light-use residential street like Hilton Court needs. And frankly, based on 15 years of lived experience, we function just fine without delineated parking spaces at all. While I still welcome an explanation of the functional need of the island and striping, after multiple unheeded opportunities, I don't believe I'm going to get an answer. So my ask tonight is simpler, a reminder that you are stewards. Whether the money comes from direct property taxes or from the Brandon Farms Condominium Association through this settlement, it is still money that came from the people you represent. A few $1,000s may be a tiny fraction of a nearly $2 million yearly road program, but you don't represent numbers. You represent the people whose lives allow those numbers to be funded. I ask for better oversight going forward to ensure our money is spent on things that are truly needed, and I look forward to the signage adjustment on our street. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the room? Anyone on Zoom?
No one's raising their hand there.
Okay, then we will go ahead and close public. Mr. Borders, thank you for coming out again. And again, genuinely, thank you for coming out to share, as you have in the past, your concerns, your thoughts. That is what we're here for. And as you know, again, with some of the changes that have happened, some of the changes that are coming, like the reduction on one side, I think is an example of why open dialogue matters and where there can be action from that open dialogue. We are all here to listen. We are all here to learn. With regards to some of the other concerns, which again, absolutely here, that also is part of the other side, which there are constraints. You know, I know it's not the answer you want, but as a part of this, in that the roads had to meet municipal standards, there were changes that had to be made. And so without getting into more of the detailed specifics, because in candor, I don't know that offhand, but I know that, again, this is an example of a process that existed, long time going, important to meet those municipal standards, but we are here to listen. And while it's not 100% of the information you wanted, while it's not 100% of the outcomes you wanted, I hope that this is evidence of how collaborative this committee and, more importantly, the township staff really are. With that, Mr. Goodell, I don't know if you have anything else to add just about the process itself, which I know we've talked about it at many meetings.
I don't think there's anything else I can add at this point.
Yeah. Is there anyone else from the committee? Thank you. All right.
Mayor, it looks like there's one person on Zoom that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you want, I know you've closed public comment, but rather than, I don't know.
Yeah. Let it. Unless anyone else has an issue, I always want to give a chance to speak.
Ms. Miliaris, you can speak now.
Okay, you can hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I would like to know, and I know that it has been the committee's response in the past, that I'm Deborah Miliaris, Assistant Clerical Terrace. I'm wanting to know where the township stands with the timeline for the TCNJ property to be developed by American Properties off of Bull Run Road. Have any traffic studies been done? Have any water tables been looked at? We do know that American Properties has sent out a wetland specialist to the area, and they have started the process on their end. However, what can you tell us the date about what's going on? I'd also like to, and without telling you that you're just starting the process, I want to know what has been done thus far, specifically. And also, I'd like to know that the Sunoco pipeline, I know that meeting is coming up also on the 22nd of January. I personally believe and feel that it would be in Hopewell's best interest and their due diligence to halt this process until Sunoco has either replaced the pipeline or whatever they're going to do. Also, it was very frustrating. I came to the meeting and then I left. I had to go home abruptly. But on my way in, I live obviously south of the Circle on 31. I had my blinker on. I was to the left of the fork. So I was going around the circle. Someone was to my right. Someone behind the person to the right flew past my back bumper, going about 60 miles an hour and cut off the other person. Something needs to be done to that circle. Also, on my way home, 31 going south, I almost witnessed 2 tractor trailers collide. So our township is dangerous. It is not the township that I bought into 15 years ago. I don't know that roads can be enlarged. I don't know what needs to happen, but it's dangerous. Thank you.
Thank you. And so, firstly, I'm so sorry to hear about some of the, particularly the person going 60 miles an hour, you at the fork at the circles. terrible to hear about your sort of the dangerous experience you felt driving tonight. And so I'm glad to hear that you're home and that you are safe on that. And I appreciate your comments regarding road safety, which is something we take very seriously. And, you know, again, really appreciate our police department for stepping up enforcement in areas when we note things, as well as just general work there. I also appreciate your thoughts regarding the Sunoco pipeline. More broadly speaking, and then I will get to your question regarding the TCNJ property, with regards to broader affordable housing, again, unfunded mandate development and pieces there are timelines by which we are bound. And so I do appreciate your concerns regarding that. I do know that committee members Kaczynski and Peters Manning shared some broad updates regarding the pipelines and sort of the inspections and safeties and things that have been done there, which we can speak to more, but I do appreciate your concerns. Regarding your questions on the TCNJ pipeline and then our project rather, and then I'm going to turn it over to committee member Kaczynski for a little more details. We are at the beginning of this process, and I know that that's not the answer you are looking for, but this is a long process that all of the different types of studies, inspections, pieces are all a part of and dictate. We are still at stage 0 of everything. And so while there are things at play, and we're going to speak to that in a moment, I understand the want for answers and concrete right away, but it is a process. But with that.
Sure. So I'll just offer just a couple comments, and then I'll probably defer to Mr. Goodell to give a little bit more color on the specific process that we are mandated to go forward through. Regarding the Sunoco pipeline, we did share this at a recent meeting. Under the advocacy of former Mayor Peters Manning, we asked PHMSA to get directly involved on the Sunoco pipeline, and we shared that they have fully inspected the entire length of the pipeline, not just the portions in Hopewell Valley. They identified anomalies. They put in corrective actions where they identified anomalies in that pipeline, but they were required under PHMSA's oversight to demonstrate that the pipeline was either safe or was going to be remediated, and they took those actions. I believe we said that there was 1 or 2.
There were 8. There are 8 Type A sleeves over the length of the pipeline that were already replaced that they found that needed replacement in their inspection. There were 2, and the result of the inline inspection, 2 sleeves required excavation in order to inspect them. That was supposed to happen this month, but neither of those were in Hopewell Township. So the entire length in Hopewell Township has been inspected, and anything that was needed to be addressed was addressed.
Yeah.
And so none of those issues occurred in Hopewell Township. They were inspecting the entire length of the pipeline in Pennsylvania and in New Jersey, and none of the issues that required attention were in Hopewell Township.
I can't confirm that. I know that.
That's my understanding.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I would say more broadly, all of the customary studies that you asked about are things that would come before the planning board as part of the engineer's review of an application. We have not, I will speak for myself actually, I have not seen any specific studies as of yet. We are aware that American Properties is doing due diligence, but we have not had specific proposals. And then Mr. Goodell, I mean, it's a process driven by the state and TCA. Can you share a little bit about what hurdles we are on the hook for addressing?
Sure. I mean, at this point, what we're talking about is our 4th round plan. That plan is just that. It's a plan. It is an understanding that affordable housing can be put in these locations. At least we think it can. We don't know for sure, and that's what those studies that were referred to involve. In other words, someone's got to do the soil testing to find out whether or not it's even possible to build in accordance with that plan. We have not seen the results of any of that, so when the question is, what is the status of that? To our understanding, we understand that the property owner or the developer is out there examining the land. That's as far as it's gotten. No one has reported back to us. So again, these are preliminary. These are part of a plan going forward. And as the mayor said, we are at stage 0. There have been, we have not started to review any of those results. They haven't been provided to us. We are so far away from any plan before a planning board that it's not even something that we can talk about.
Thank you. But to that, we appreciate your continued questions, and please keep coming to meetings or reaching out to us personally, and we're happy to keep discussing. We did close public comment. I do see another hand raised. We're going to wait till the second public comment so we can continue with the agenda. But there will be another opportunity for residents. So next on the agenda, we have minutes submitted for approval. A, regular and executive minutes of December 15th, 2025. B, special meeting minutes of December 30th, 2025. And C, reorganization meeting minutes of January 5th, 2026. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstention? Great. Next, we have the consent agenda. A resolution authorizing refund of paid tax due to veteran exemption granted on Block 95, Lot 13, and cancellation of 2026 taxes. B, a resolution for redemption of tax sales certificates. C, resolution authorizing refunds from Hopewell Township escrow accounts. D, a resolution authorizing refunds for Hopewell Township Recreation Department program participants. E, a resolution to approve fees for various Hopewell Township Parks and Recreation Department programs and activities. And F, shooting gallery license renewal, 189 Woosamonsa Road, Hanson. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? All right. Moving on to resolution. Resolution A, a resolution reappointing Catherine Fenton Newman to the position of municipal clerk and conferring tenure pursuant to NJSA 40A 9-133. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Mayor. So, I'd like to sum up Kathy's first 3 years as Hopewell Township Clerk with 3 words: professionalism, care, and expertise. I think that sums it up perfectly. I've known Kathy for over 20 years, and I was excited to find out we were going to be working together again here. With this 3-year appointment, she will also attain tenure.
Wonderful. Well, I just want to say it is an incredible pleasure and privilege to work with you. If I could quadruple vote yes for this, I would. Yeah. I don't know if anyone else in the committee has anything to add.
You know, I just want to note all the help that Kathy has been to me with the various committees where I'm the liaison. It's all the kind of work that is in the background. It's not necessary. I'm sure it falls under other duties as assigned for a clerk. So I truly appreciate it, and you have taught me a lot, and I greatly appreciate what you have taught me, and also keeping not just me but all of us moving in the right direction with stuff. So I believe I will vote yes on this one.
So I moved it, so I will obviously vote yes on it. I'm very happy to see you continue on with us and continue to contribute. I think we heard a small taste of what the clerk's office has to do every day when I heard somewhere over 2,500 pages of an Oprah request that you went and served.
That was actually just
But your office is responsible for not only the day-to-day functioning of things in the clerk's office, but also in fulfilling the important public transparency that comes through Oprah. So thank you.
Go ahead. I'll just add into, it has been pleasure to working with you, and since you've been here, I can see more efficiency in the administrative process. I do see the meeting minutes and emails and stuff like that. I really want to recognize that, the improvements in the administration, and congratulations.
And I would just like to add my thanks, and it's difficult dealing with all 5 of us with different personalities and different requests and different needs.
What do you mean?
But you do it without making any of us feel like we're a pain in the neck, which I know sometimes we are. So thank you for all that you do, and I could second the meeting minutes. They are on it, so that is really, really impressive. So thank you, congratulations.
Well, it is my privilege to say all in favor.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstention? Good. Yeah. There we go. Resolution B, appointing Daniel Pizlakowski as laborer in the Public Works Department. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Snyder?
Daniel has been working with the Public Works Department as a part-time laborer and decided he'd like to make Public Works his career. According to our other DPW staff, Dan has proven himself to be industrious and eager to learn all aspects of Public Works. And this hire will replace a laborer who resigned in October 2025.
Great. Well, Public Works is an incredible team, and it's a wonderful place to build a career, and so it's great to see the position filled. Anything from the committee? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions?
Yeah, I moved it.
I think I seconded.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I was fasting in the world.
Yeah. C, a resolution appointing a member to the Hopewell Township Senior Advisory Board. Motion?
I'll move it.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Snyder?
Elaine Smith is a retired municipal court employee, and she lives near our current senior center location. Our recreation coordinator highly recommends the appointment. She advises us that Elaine is energetic and loves to be involved with community events.
Wonderful. Anything to add from our senior advisor?
I just looking forward to working with her. We have a meeting this week.
Wonderful. All right. Well, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? That's none. We are going to pull Resolution D, a resolution approving the job description for Municipal Housing Liaison. We have a few tweaks that we're potentially going to be making to that description. So E, a resolution establishing mandatory direct deposit for full-time and part-time township employees with an exemption for temporary and seasonal employees. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Snyder?
One of my goals has been to transition to electronic pay stubs and W-2 forms, and in order to do this, direct deposit for all employees is required. So I ran this by the unions, make sure they're right. They're very enthusiastic. I received a very enthusiastic response. Several employees have even asked for it. So the first step is to pass, and this resolution is mandatory in order to make direct deposit mandatory for all employees. So the first step is to pass this resolution, implement direct deposit, mandatory direct deposit, and then move towards electronic payroll and W-2, and this will eliminate pay stubs, envelopes, mailing of the envelopes and pay stubs, and employees could access it at any time.
Great, and I think this modernization is really just an enormous step, and again, what that reduces in terms of some of the times and pieces there is really great. Is there anything from the committee? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? Seeing none. F, a resolution authorizing the township's participation in the development of the Assunpink Watershed Management Plan. Ms. Burkhead?
Thank you, Mayor.
Oh, can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Now, Ms. Burkhead.
Thank you, Mayor. Hopewell Township has been actively participating in the Assunpink Watershed Work Group, which has been meeting since 2022 to address the stormwater management, flooding, and water quality issues in the township. The township is required under the 2023 MS4 permit to develop a watershed improvement plan, and NJDEP encourages municipalities to collaborate regionally in this effort. The Watershed Institute, supported by NJDEP grant and working with Princeton Hydro, is developing a comprehensive watershed management plan that includes water quality data, best management practices, project recommendations, and ultimately reducing the township's workload and cost and preparing its required watershed assessment report. We actually are 95% complete with the watershed inventory report that will go towards the help create the watershed management plan, and it is all covered by a grant.
Yep, which is great. That's the great thing additionally, so this is no cost to us. Anything from the committee? Great. All in favor? Aye. Seeing no abstentions or nays. We already moved G. We moved that to the top, so I'm actually going to move H and I together. H, a resolution of the Township of Hopewell, County of Mercer, State of New Jersey, granting authority for approval of certain purchases in excess of the bid threshold. through New Jersey state contracts and/or purchasing cooperatives for 2026. And I, granting authority for approval of certain purchases through New Jersey state contracts and/or purchasing cooperatives for 2026. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Ms. Troutman?
Thank you. So by the township participating in co-ops, it actually expedites our procurement process and eases the burden on the township employees, as the coordinator of these co-ops have already done the background work on the vendors, they've already done the paperwork, they've already gotten price quotes. So this actually helps the employees to move along our process and find a list of vendors who are able to provide the services that we need.
I love efficiency. That's great. Seeing no comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Great. J, a resolution for extension of award for bid 23-01 brush grinding services to Britain Industries. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Snyder?
In 2025, the township went out to bid for and awarded a bid to Britain Industries for brush grinding. It was a one-year bid with a one-year extension. Britain agreed to extend the bid for one more year. Our purchasing agent negotiated with them to hold the price at $5.59 per cubic yard. So we'll have the same price as we did last year.
Yeah, great to see that flat pricing, especially in the current environment. So big win there. Anything from the committee? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? K, a resolution of the Township of Hopewell in the County of Mercer, State of New Jersey, authorizing Township of Hopewell change order number 1 to bid 25-10 2025 micro paving program. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Ms. Burkhead?
Thank you, Mayor. The Hopewell Township had previously awarded the 2025 micro paving program contract to Asphalt Paving Systems for $693,727.23. It has been determined that a change order is needed due to a reduction in certain quantities in the contract. This adjustment results in a decrease of $4,821.26, bringing the revised contract total to $688,905.97. The contract will be closed out with this change order.
Love to see reductions.
Yeah. Hear, hear. Anything else from the committee? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? L, a resolution authorizing professional service agreement in a non-fair and open manner.
I will move it.
Second.
Great. Ms. Troutman?
Thank you. The township has been utilizing the services of our auditor, Inverso and Stewart, for several years now. They are very familiar with our township. They assist with the annual documents, our financial documents that we prepare. And they, as our township is growing and expanding and our operating budgets and our sewer utilities, they are very familiar with our township. So this is I would like to be able to continue with the relationship with them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Anything from the committee? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No opposed or abstentions. Okay, so I would like to move M, N, and O together, though they will be 3 roll call votes. M, debt service maturation resolution maturing on February 1st, 2026. N, debt service maturation resolution, Stony Brook Regional Sewer Authority maturing on February 1st, 2026. And O, debt service maturation resolution maturing on February 15th, 2026. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? Great. Ms. Troutman?
So as we are still operating under our temporary budget, in order for us to make our debt service obligation payments, we need to pass these resolutions to approve that appropriation.
Great.
2 of them are general obligations, and one of the resolutions is for our iBank loan that we took out last year.
Okay. Wonderful. Important to keep moving. Anything from the committee? Ms. Fenton Newman, roll call vote. Now, do we need to do 3 separate roll call votes, or can we do it in one?
One, right?
Yeah. Okay, great.
Committee member Kaczynski?
Yes.
Committee member Peters Manning?
Yes.
Committee member Ruger?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pirandari?
Yes.
And Mayor Chait?
Yes.
And those 3 resolutions pass.
Wonderful. Bills and claims number 1. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Great. Mr. Outman?
Nothing unusual in this one.
All right. Anything from the committee? Roll call vote.
Committee Member Kaczynski.
Yes.
Committee Member Peters Manning.
Yes.
Committee Member Ruger.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pirondari.
Yes.
And Mayor Chait.
Yes.
Bills and claims, resolution number 1 passes.
Great. And we have lastly, our bills and claims number 2, which is not Comcast. So can I have a
I
motion?
will move it.
Second?
I'll second it.
Yeah, there we go. Mr. Troutman?
That is a reimbursement to a deputy mayor for her League of Municipality attendance last year.
Okay, great. Assuming that there's no comments or things there, roll call vote.
Committee Member Kaczynski.
Yes.
Committee Member Peters Manning.
Yes.
Committee Member Ruger.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pirondari.
Abstain.
Mayor Chait.
Yes.
And bills and claims number 2 passes.
Great. And then now we're in our second and last public section. So same rules apply. Feel free to come up to the podium or raise your hands on Zoom. 3 minutes to share your public comment. We're going to take all the questions and comments first, and then we will answer everything. So if anyone in the room would like to come up.
Hello, I'm Jolyn Maloney. I'm with the Watershed Institute. I just wanted to extend thanks from the Watershed Institute for Hopewell Township's commitment to participating in the Assunpink watershed for the regional approach. I also wanted to extend thanks to Ms. Burkhead for her participation in the regional approaches for the Assunpink and the other groups as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone on Zoom?
Mr. Lineberger, I believe, is not raising his hand, but he did raise his hand the last time, so I'm not sure. He's on here twice, so I'm not sure who to unmute first. But Mr. Lineberger, could you raise your hand if you still wish to speak? And he is not raising his hand there.
Okay, so with that, we are going to close public comment, and our pleasure. We're thrilled to be participating in that, and we appreciate our partnership. Okay, so with that, we are moving into executive session. Whereas it is necessary for Township Committee to discuss real estate, legal, contract negotiations, and/or personnel matters, and whereas NJSA 10:4-12 permits the Township Committee to conduct a meeting from which the public is excluded in order to discuss such matters, and whereas the time, when, and circumstances under which discussion is conducted in executive session may be disclosed to the public is when appropriate. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee of the Township of Hopewell, County of Mercer, State of New Jersey, that the Township Committee shall forthwith conduct an executive session to discuss the above. Be it further resolved that the scope of the aforementioned executive session will be limited to the above materials as stated, and we do not anticipate taking any action.
And I'll move that we enter executive.
Oh my, yeah, there we go. Can we move? A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Now it's official. Oh, there we go. Thank you, everybody. I'm learning.